Do you see now the difference in our power?
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today I want to talk about Invincible. It's concluded, the finale, right? So spoiler warning. And then we'll also be talking about every episode that released so far for the boys. I think they're on episode 4 or 3. But I made a video talking about both of those series and what I like about them and how, one, for the boys, they're kind of getting back on track. They got off to a strong start. Episode 1, spoiler warning, they killed A-Train. And I thought that was incredible because something that show didn't want to do for a very long time is let Homelander be dangerous. Homelander is supposed to be the strongest superhero, the strongest villain. And you have all of these people working to take him down. And if that's the case, you have to show him being not just a mean guy, like he's mean, he's, selfish, but you have to show him being a physical threat, And I feel like the show, up until A-Train's death, has not done that, right? Only time Homelander kills a character is when it's like some side character that they introduce on a whim, and you can already kind of tell that character is going to die, right? So that's one thing that I really didn't like about the boys, is that they never really had any major moments, and it was all just like, oh, all of these characters go into this thing. Like, for example, the most recent episode, they had this weird like house where they were trying to get V1, and they all went in there, and there was some soup. You find out at the very end of the episode, there is a soup in there who is like basically making everyone angry and fight each other, right? But that whole episode was lame because I knew all of the good guys, right? All 5 of them walk into this building, and then there's a soup in there who makes everyone kill each other, right? I'm thinking none of them are going to fight. None of them are going to kill. Everyone's going to walk out immediately unscathed. It doesn't matter what go on. It doesn't matter what they try to show. They're all going to walk away. And I was literally fast forwarding the fight scenes because of it. I was fast forwarding it. And then at the end of it, they all shake hands and they're like, oh, that was crazy. I'm like, yeah, I predicted it. Like, so that's what I don't like about the boys, is how formulaic it is. Even the thing with Homelander and Soldier Boy, those are 2 of the best characters. They're carrying by far. Butcher's really cool as well, but I think Butcher's kind of getting watered down a little bit. But I think that the show is just so predictable, and it's so bad, and I wish that they would do something different with it. Like I just wish they would do something different. I just wish that they would do something worth watching. I feel like they're probably going to get to the final season, probably kill Homelander. Is probably going to be like something else that they do, but I think all the main characters will survive, and it's going to be like a Stranger Things where like Vecna dies and then all the main characters survive, and it's going to be kind of lame. The boys is supposed to be dark, it's supposed to be gritty, and it's supposed to be like, like it's supposed to be different than other superhero shows. But when all the main characters survive, it's just like the Avengers. It's just like the Avengers is actually better than that, because at least they would kill characters and characters would die and there's consequences. So that's it's like they created this premise and then they under delivered, right? So talking about Invincible now. Invincible, fire, fire, fire. Invincible, fire, bro. That show is incredible. It's incredible because they are doing what the boys isn't. Every episode you don't know what will happen. Every episode is like a surprise. Every episode is the story moving forward. There is no repetitive storylines playing out over and over and over again, like episodes, like Scooby-Doo. You go watch The Boys and you go watch Scooby-Doo, it's the same thing. They all show up, we got to do this thing now or the world is over. They plan out the thing, talk about how dangerous it is, they go do it, and then by the end of the episode everyone's happy and alive, and it's next episode. It's literally like a cartoon. But Invincible is different, bro. They actually are really pushing it forward. I think this new episode, this new season, the 7th episode is like the best in the series. It's like top 5 episodes. It is magnificent. And I know a lot of people are talking about the animations being lackluster. I've seen the memes all over social media, but the story and the emotional like moments that they're having is unmatched. Thragg lived up to all the hype, and I kind of love how arrogance is his downfall. In that final battle before the planet gets destroyed, you he has the ability to stop all of it. He has the ability to win the battle. He's just standing there watching though, right? And he pushed them all to the brink of desperation to where they would do something crazy, right? He could stop all of them, but he's kind of toying with them. And when you push someone into a corner, they're going to get desperate. Out of desperation, they blow up the planet. So I like how he kind of like arrogance was his downfall in a sense. And it was kind of like a hard lesson for him because I don't know, it was just cool to see that whole thing play out. And I think just the fighting and all of the different you know what's kind of cool about it? The way that the Viltrumites are so evil. They're so evil. They destroy planets. They push the planet out of orbit because they didn't like the people who lived on the planet. The whole planet, basically turned into a desert, right? They put a big solar dish in front of the other planet so it will freeze and try to kill everyone. Like they be doing some crazy things. But I still like how when you are seeing the Viltrumites die, you really are kind of like feeling for their extinction, right? Like there's like 37 of them. And you just are counting like oh, another one dead, another one dead, another one dead. And it's like you slowly see the elimination of a race. No matter how crazy they are, you just feel it. And you also feel what they're fighting for when you see the desperation, when you see like the moment where Thragg could kill Mark and Omni-Man, right? Because he basically they kind of win the fight. When he kind of has the chance to kill them, he basically lets them go because he's like, there's not so many Viltrumites, right? Like there's only a couple of us. Like, yeah, we could kill them, but the thing is, it's like everyone wants to get rid of the Viltrumites, the bad ones. But then if they are successful in doing that, you have the good Viltrumites, which could still live. And that's really his primary goal, is to make the Viltrumites live. So even if Mark, Omni-Man, and Oliver end up killing them, the Viltrumites will still live on. So you just really feel that whole dilemma, and it's like beautiful, bro. It's amazing. Like that is literally like one of my favorite shows ever. And I think if they keep going, it will be one of the greatest like series of all time. We're literally witnessing like a Breaking Bad level of storytelling. As long as they don't do a Game of Thrones ending, which I don't think they will, it will be phenomenal. The storytelling is magnificent. The character development is outstanding. One thing though, one thing I do not like is the demon creature. The demon creature is yikes. They went to that's probably one of the worst episodes in a very long time. They had some bad episodes back when Amber was a part of the show, but that guy, he was super hyped. I think he was the cliffhanger for like season 2 or something. So he was super hyped. People were like, okay, this guy's coming back. Darkblood, I think his name is Darkblood. He was coming back and people wanted to see what he had to offer. But then his episode was so underwhelming, and it came at a time when you were so invested into kind of like the Omni-Man storyline, the Viltrumite storyline. I don't know if it would have been better if they would have started off the season with that. Like if that would have been season 1, maybe it would have been better. But putting it, I really just think that whole season was terrible. But it was a rare moment of trash. Now, I hope that the next season, because that storyline will be continued in the next season, I hope that they learn from all the criticism that they got and they somehow manage to recover that one and turn it into something great, because they've done that with everything else. Everything else has been phenomenal. And that's just the one thing that's kind of like hanging out right now. That's kind of sucks. But Thragg is fire. The ultimatum at the very end of the season. At the end of the season, Thragg basically approaches Mark. He's having all these kind of like PTSDs, and he's fearing the Viltrumites showing up. And then they finally show up, and Thragg tells him, you know, we can make a truce, right? But the truce is, since you blew up my planet, right, planet Viltrum, now the remaining Viltrumites are gonna live here. They're gonna live here. They're gonna live in secret, and they're going to basically start families and whatnot. And the Viltrumite Empire will continue that way, right? And Mark is put in this situation to where, like, obviously he doesn't want that to happen. He doesn't want them to survive like that. But he's like, if not, we'll destroy everything, bro. It's literally like, you guys ever seen a meme where it's like you're about to lose, and it's like, no, we lose it. That's literally what he did. He was like, bro, like, all right, we're here on Earth. If you try to find us, we're just gonna cause chaos. We're just gonna absolutely destroy everything. And as soon as one of us is discovered or disturbed or something like that, all the others are gonna just destroy everything and crash out. And I wonder how that, because I think some of them probably will slip up. I wonder, because like you can see with Vanessa, how she's not happy with her situation. Some of the other Viltrumites, they're very happy and they're kind of chilling, right? But I just wonder, with like, I think they said 37 of them. I just wonder, will any of them crash out on their own, or will Cecil go after them? Because yes, he wants the best for humanity, but in trying to get to that point, he also becomes the thing that puts it in the most danger. Like when he tried to get answers out of Conquest, and then Conquest just left, right? So I do want to see what happens with that in the next season. You know, having just the Viltrumites live amongst you. And then also you have to talk about Alan the Alien. Alan the Alien, he was given the final orders to basically it was like bro's dying wish to release the Scourge virus. So if he finds out that all the Viltrumites are on Earth, and I don't know if they said specifically whether or not it would hurt humans. I know they talked about it, but it didn't sound too clear. But it seems like he may release it on Earth. And if he does that, all the Viltrumites will be, including Mark and all of them. So they got a lot of interesting plot points. And I'm very excited to see where it goes. And then also talk about Monster Hunter or Monster Girl and Rex. They disappeared through that portal, and Caesar was trying to get them. Right? So there's a lot of interesting things happening in the show, and it's cool just seeing the narrative be pushed forward and so many characters be developed, and it's amazing to see. You know, final thing, Debbie, her relationship with Paul was weird, but the way that it ended was kind of weirder, because she seemed very happy and like she was having a good time for months, right before Mark and Oliver left. And then when they leave, you find out that the relationship didn't work out, but they're still friends. And so that was just kind of like jarring, unexpected, and a little bit weird. But I'm interested to see where it goes. Her story has always kind of been a weird one, and I don't know. We just got to see where it goes. But really, the story, the show's great so far. I will give this season 8 out of 10. The only reason I don't push it higher is because the one episode with Darkblood and then the Debbie situation. But other than that, everything else was flawless. I'll probably watch it again, but I definitely recommend everyone go and watch it themselves. But that's it. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and bye-bye.